Hello guys. In today's video, we're diving into something truly massive that's happening in the global EV scene. And no surprise here, it all leads back to China. While the rest of the world is still figuring out how to fully embrace electric mobility, China is miles ahead. And what's happening there is literally reshaping the strategies of major automakers worldwide. We'll talk numbers, competition, major setbacks for legacy car brands like Mercedes, and how Chinese EV players like NIO are rapidly rising. So let's get into this eye-opening update that's more than just news, it's a glimpse into the future of transportation. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research. When we step back and look at the electric vehicle EV industry on a global scale, one country clearly stands out, and that's China. There's no debate about it. Right now, China isn't just participating in the EV race, it's dominating it. To put things into perspective, as of the end of 2024, China commands over 60% of the global EV market. Think about that for a second. More than half of all electric vehicles sold around the world are bought and driven in China. That's a staggering figure and makes one thing crystal clear: if you're serious about EVs, you cannot ignore China. In fact, China is projected to sell over 16 million new energy vehicles (NEVs) this year alone. Meanwhile, the total number of NEVs expected to be sold globally is just over 20 million. That leaves the rest of the world combined, yes, all of Europe, North America, and other regions accounting for only around 4 million units. That's a huge gap and highlights just how dominant China's role is in shaping the EV market. And here's where it gets even more interesting. This massive dominance is now forcing global legacy automakers, especially the big names from Germany, to rethink their strategies. Take Mercedes-Benz, for example. They had previously set an ambitious target of becoming an all-electric brand by 2030. But now, that commitment is being rolled back. Why? Because they're facing harsh reality checks, particularly in the Chinese market. Despite being iconic, respected, and long established, brands like Mercedes, Audi, and BMW are finding it incredibly difficult to compete in China. The competition there is fierce, and much of that is due to China's homegrown EV brands, especially premium players like NIO. NIO isn't just another EV startup. It's become a serious contender, especially in the luxury segment. Its models are increasingly being compared to the high-end offerings from the German giants. For instance, NIO's flagship vehicle, the ET9, is being seen as a direct alternative to vehicles like the Mercedes S-Class, Audi A8, and BMW 7 Series. And it's not just NIO. Chinese tech companies like Huawei, in partnership with JAC Motors, have also released ultra-premium electric models like the Luxeed S800. These vehicles come fully loaded with cutting-edge technology, futuristic features, and performance specs that match or exceed what traditional brands are offering. So, why are German automakers backing off their EV goals? It's largely because they are losing ground in China. If you can't win in China, the epicenter of EV innovation and sales, it's a serious sign of trouble for your global strategy. And with Chinese brands now preparing to expand into global markets like Europe, the UAE, and even potentially North America, the pressure is only going to increase. This isn't just about China anymore. These homegrown Chinese brands are scaling fast. They're fine-tuning their technology, optimizing production, and getting ready to bring their EVs to streets far beyond Asia. It's only a matter of time before you see NIO vehicles in cities across Europe, Africa, and maybe even in America. This global expansion means that traditional automakers can't afford to sit back. They must adapt or risk being left behind. But ironically, some countries still seem hesitant. The transition to EVs in many regions is slow, partly because governments haven't adjusted policies fast enough to support widespread EV adoption. Some leaders are even signaling resistance to fully going electric. In the US, for example, political figures like Donald Trump have expressed the desire to maintain a diverse automotive landscape, including gas-powered vehicles and hybrids alongside EVs. While that might sound like flexibility, It also signals a lack of commitment compared to China's aggressive approach. China's government isn't waiting around. They're not only promoting EVs, they're buying them for public use, enforcing emission standards, and setting up infrastructure to support rapid adoption. That's a big reason why the EV market is so vibrant and competitive over there. Back in Europe, brands like BMW and Mercedes aren't outright rejecting Chinese EV penetration, they're actually supporting it to some extent. Why? Because it motivates them. It adds competitive pressure, and in many ways, that pressure is essential for innovation. When you're up against rivals that are constantly pushing boundaries, you have no choice but to elevate your own game. This pressure cooker environment is something Chinese EV makers are thriving in. NIO, for example, is constantly evolving. They don't just release a model and leave it unchanged for years. They're iterating fast, upgrading tech, refining features, and improving user experience across the board. That kind of agility is a major advantage. And that's really the key takeaway here: evolution and adaptation. Companies that stay static won't survive in this fast-moving world of electric vehicles. Innovation, speed, and confidence in product development are what's setting Chinese brands apart. For traditional automakers, this could be a blessing in disguise. Welcoming Chinese EVs into Europe or other regions may be the wake-up call they need. It creates a feedback loop of competitiveness. The better Chinese EVs get, the harder legacy companies will need to work to stay relevant, and that benefits consumers most of all. So to wrap this all up, China isn't just leading the EV industry, it's rewriting the rules. With more than 60% of global EV sales and a projection of hitting 80% of NEV growth this year, it's clear that China's grip on the EV future is strong and getting stronger. German automakers like Mercedes, BMW, and Audi are starting to feel the heat, and some, like Mercedes, are already backpedaling on their all-EV goals. Meanwhile, Chinese EV makers like NIO are stepping up, expanding beyond their home turf, and challenging the old guard with bold tech, faster innovation, and competitive pricing. What happens in China won't stay in China. The cars, the competition, and the innovation are going global. And if other regions don't keep up, whether it's due to slow policy, political resistance, or outdated strategies, they risk being left behind. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you seeing this shift too? Do you think legacy automakers can keep up? Or are we witnessing the beginning of a new EV order led by China? Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more stock predictions and market insights. Remember to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Happy investing, and see you in the next video.